today, your teacher's not your enemy. Some of y'all need to go back to the classroom and apologize. How are you going to touch them out? They'll hook up to your salvation. I want to challenge you today, if there is ever time to grow up, listen to me, you are a kid. And I tell adults, quit calling these kids young adults. They're not no young adults, they are just kids. And when you're a kid, you ought to be happy. And I'm saying today, right now, like my father raped my sister, if I was a betting man, I bet you money. There's some of you that are traumatized. Man, your bully is an uncle. Your bully might be a grandfather or a father, the man next door. If you're here today and you've ever been molested, and you're being molested right now, there's some folks who ain't gonna stand for it. I know the principal ain't gonna stand for it. And I'm gonna challenge you today, when this assembly's over, even a quick spoken word like that, you say, oh, me, that's me. I had a little girl one day, 12 years old, and she just happened to be white. Cried. After I started talking about being molested, cried. Came up when it was over, so I'm 12 years old. My dad's been raping me since I was 8. You're the first guy I ever heard that said it wasn't my fault. Hear what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff y'all going through right now. Ain't your fault. It ain't your fault. There's some circumstances that have made you a bad kid, but the difference between a good kid and a bad kid is a choice. You can grow up some today. You can grow up some today in this assembly. It don't make no difference how long it was. It don't make no difference whether or not we're in the cafeteria. It don't make no difference if the 5%ers want to clown. Right now they in check. The issue is, man, you good kids that are sitting here right now, you got to hear a word and say, man, things got to get better. I got to do my homework. I got to try to get to college. Man, it is almost impossible to make it in today's society without an education. Go back to your classroom, man, tell your teachers, man, you apologize to your teacher. Okay, I'm going to come here, I'm going to learn. Go back home, put your arms around. Some of y'all ain't even got a mom or a dad. You live with a grandparent. Your grandmama trying to raise you. You overpowered the house. If she died, then what's going to happen? Then what's going to happen one day if your kid turned out like you? I want to challenge you today. My time is up. I got shot one time. It seemed like I wrote 3 books. One book, I come home one night and I hear somebody say, we're going to kill you. And I started seeing fire jump from the guns. They shot me twice in one arm. I spun around, got my gun out. They shot me point blank twice, shot me again, shot me 5 times. And I broke and ran. And I fell in the gutter and I started dying. I started dying in the gutter. And you know what? I called out to God. I said, I don't want to die. But you know what? It was so freaky. It was stupid. It wasn't that I didn't want to die. I cared about dying. I didn't want to die alone. And that night I went to the hospital. All the bullets went through my arm, 2 went in my chest. They never come out and they couldn't find me. That was years ago. I believe I was saved for a reason. You see, you can't run that by me. You can't run some of the stuff y'all be running to adults. You can't run that by me. You have to pay for every choice that you make in your life. And today is one of those days where you got to stand up and be counted. If you're sitting here right now, watch this here. There's some of y'all that are sitting here right now, you in the middle school, you depressed. How in the world can you be depressed as a kid? That ought not be like that. Some of you unhappy, some of you bullied, and some of you are being bullied. I'm saying today, that ought to stop. And so I want to challenge you today. If there is ever time for you to stand down in a foundation and make up your mind and come respecting people, that ought to be right now. I want to challenge you. There's going to be a pledge. Now hear what I'm saying. There's going to be a pledge. We're going to pass out some books, and I'm just not in no funny, no playing mode. I know normally what I do is I bring an apple. And it is for you teachers that are here. If we happen to have any teachers that are here, I just respect and honor teachers so much. It's that spoken word. But some of y'all take so much crap now from kids. Teachers used to, 30 years they used to last in the public school system. They last 5 now. That's why we got to get back to the old way of doing things. Let me challenge and speak a word to every teacher right now. I know a lot of y'all ready to give up. A lot of y'all ready to jump rope because you say, no, I can't be cussed out like that. I'm overworked, underpaid. Don't nobody appreciate me. Listen to me, kids. I want to challenge you today. If there's ever time you ever respected an adult, a teacher, it ought to be right now. I want you to clap for all the teachers. That are sitting here right now, the one that's being beat down, the girl that's been raped, and they never told nobody about it, today, it's not your fault. I want you to come up when it's over. I'll get you a pass out of class. I want you to come up. If you're here today and they're pulling you in them gangs, and you say, I don't want to be in no gang, when this is over, I want you soldiers to come up. I'll come back. We'll bring somebody back here to help the principal out. But in the meantime, here's what I'm saying. We have a pledge. No, we only want those of you that want to take a pledge today.
No one's taking name, no one's signing up, no one's getting paid for you to do it. Your heart has to be right. Your heart has to be right. The leaders that are here right now, we want to do a pledge. We want to say a pledge. You ain't signing nothing. We want you to pledge and say, you know what? I can make a difference. So all the kids in the place who want to take the pledge, stand up and we're going to read the pledge. Stand up.
Okay, repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to bury violence, to speak out and not be silent. No more bullying, no more drugs, no more gangs. I pledge to change my community. My family will be proud of me that I'm speaking out, and my friends will join me to the end. To bury the violence once and for all. Give yourselves a hand.
A long time ago, but sometimes inviting someone like him to your school, somebody might get the wrong idea. It may be understood that we got a problem at our school. Well, guess what? We do. If we have one student that's in crisis, we got a problem. Just one. And that's one too many for me. So you've heard some things today. If you have a need, you want to come up and talk afterwards, a sincere need. Don't waste the man's time, because there's going to be somebody that does. So if not, you go back to class. If you have a sincere need, then you come up. Now, Dr. Jennings, we have a pledge too. I just told him a little bit about where kids at Hope School. Didn't know too much about that, but he does need to know about that because he's traveling around the country. So I'm going to ask you all, sit down to join me and let him know what the kids at Pledge Hope is. I'm a kid at Hope. I'm smart, talented, capable of success. All right, so you heard it. And we'll get him a copy too, because when he goes around the country, he can say he heard it right here. Now, Dr. Jennings, most schools would not have you come and speak to students in a cafeteria when they're accustomed every day to use that time for their social time. But I told you, this is a special student body. And I know my students and I trust them. And they did not only themselves proud, but our school proud. So thank you, and give yourself a round of applause for the game.